Hello, hello. There we go. What's up? Okay. Cartoon Mark is here on a chilly November evening. Chilly November evening. What's the video about? Caricature artist tools. We're going to talk about the caricature artist tools that we use. As Squeaky the cat is right here. Right, Squeaky? Hi. Oh, she's great. I'll show you the easel. I'll show you the markers. I'll show you the color sticks. And I'll show you the number one book I would pick if I had to pick only one book to get started with live caricature or caricature in general. So first we'll start with the book. My name's Mark, Cartoon Mark. I am a caricature artist in the Albany, New York area. And I do events when I can. I do it as a hobby and I love it. There's plenty of events that I have to turn down because I can't do them all. And I share them amongst my fellow caricature artists in this area. So, the one thing I'm always asked is, how did you get into this? How did you learn? I'm going to tell you my story. My story's kind of similar to Tom Richmond's. It's weird that he said all that. It's like exactly what happened to me. Maybe it happened to you guys. So I was in school. It wasn't an art class, but Tom Richmond was talking about an art teacher was teaching a lesson on caricature, and then he drew the teachers and they put them up in the school. So mine's very similar. I was just in the art. I went to military school, high school, and I was in the art homeroom. There was art homeroom, drama, and band. Kind of wanted to do the band thing, but wound up doing the art thing. So I was in the art homeroom and I just drew one of the disciplinarians, the vice principal, with like him choking a student and smoke blowing out of his ears. And then my art homeroom teacher put it up in the hallway. And I was terrified because I was afraid the disciplinarian was going to kick my ass. So that's how I got into caricature. I didn't know the word caricature back then. This was 1992. I mean, maybe I knew the word caricature. I don't know. But then he said, can you draw a few of the other teachers? And I drew the math teacher, Mr. Herrick, Brother Thomas, and a few other teachers. And then they put them all up in the hallway. And people were like, yeah, that's awesome. That's great. And I didn't think anything of it. And I did a few yearbook illustrations, and that's about it. And I did a few, I loved X-Men and Spawn and all the comic books from Image. And I did some landscape painting as well. And that's kind of where art kind of stopped for me, and then life kind of took over. As Squeaky the cat is taking over the art studio right here. She sees her, I think she sees her reflection, but I don't know. So that's kind of how I got into caricature. And then later on, life took over in my 30s and 40s, and I didn't pick up a pen until probably age 39, 38, 39. I'm 50 now, and then slowly learned caricature through Tom Richmond's book, The Mad Art of Caricature, and my brother actually getting a caricature back in 1986 in Lake George, New York, by a caricature artist named Roger Webb. If anybody has ever heard of Roger Webb, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear if anybody knows about this artist. Hi, Squeaky, you're on YouTube. And I didn't know it at the time, but in 1986, that was my introduction to caricature. And so then I just started learning on YouTube later in my late 30s and early 40s, and books. But if I had to pick one book only to get started quick, Tom Richmond's book is amazing. It's the Bible. That's it. Has everything in there you need. But as far as like a quick start type of manual, I recommend this by Keel and Parham. Let's Tune Caricatures by Keel and Parham. As you can see, mine is seen better days. I literally have clips holding this together. And Squeaky is laying right down behind me, if you can see her right there. Hi, Squeaky. She's always close to me. So yeah, that is the book I would do to get started. Next, we're going to show you the easel. Well, we'll show you the easel last. The markers I use are Crayolas. Crayola markers, that's it. Black Crayola markers. I like them for the thin and thick tip you can get. A marker I have kind of used earlier, and I might be getting back into it, is the Tombow brush pen. A little hard to control the brush tip, but it's literally, see against my bald head there, it's literally a brush tip, but what I like about it is thin and thick lines, but look at the other end of it. Right there. There's a smaller tip for some detailed lines that you really want to use on like hair or whatever, cross hatching or shading. That is what I know, Squeaky. I'm almost done. That's what I really like. You like the Tombow brush pen, Squeaky? Yeah? For color, I use I used to use Prismacolor art sticks, but they don't make those anymore. So now we use Neocolors, Neocolor 1s. There's Neocolor 1s and 2s. I use Neocolor 1s. That's what they look like. They're a woodless colored pencil. Squeaky hears that. She hears everything. She don't miss a trick. Look, she's gonna play. Look at her playing with the, what is that? My pencil sharpener? Squeaky really? It's turned into the Squeaky show. Yeah. You like it, Squeaky? So these are the Neocolor ones, and I love them way better than Prismacolor art sticks. Just, they're dry media, you know, they don't make a mess. And the easel is here. That's what people would see sitting across from me. And I'll show you what they would see, what I see. All right, Squeaky. Hi. You're getting a backstage view of the art studio. Right, Squeaky? Yeah. Yeah. So this is what I see here. She's looking at exactly what I just touched. So this is a light I have on the top. This is a foam pad on a art board. This foam pad allows for your cushion of your marker to work really good. Here's your drawers for all your markers, erasers, pencils. Thank you to Ninja Sketch for this tip. Thank you, Ninja Sketch. I don't use this a lot, but I use it for highlights maybe once in a while, and my color sticks. And this folds up really nice and looks to be about that big right there. But this one is way lighter. So this one is 12 pounds. That one's like 16, 17 pounds. That is a heavy easel. And when you're going from gig to gig, you want something light, right? So that's the video. That's the tools that we use. This is the art studio. I work here on the table flat when I need a little more room, like when I gotta have a reference, you know. And then otherwise, I work here on the easel for about 90% of my stuff. I just finished a commission, and I have another commission to do. I don't take a lot of commissions, but These were friends who really wanted some drawings, and that's what we're doing. And Squeaky the Cat and Cartoon Mark, you heard your name, huh, Squeaky the Cat? Yeah, Cartoon Mark and Squeaky are signing off. These are the tools for caricature. Hope you like it. Hope you learned something. Squeaky the Cat says, "Hi, Squeaky." And yeah, this is the art studio. It's a big bedroom. It's a second bedroom in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I got hangout area here, cat area, playroom here, closet for storage here. And yeah, Squeaky hangs out here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.